Hey, welcome back. This is Fat Guy Sports Talk. Thanks for joining us for another awesome episode. As always, I am Aaron.
I'm TJ.
I'm Tyler.
Grant, you there?
Grant, we see you.
I'm Grant.
All right.
Are you sure?
That's the third time I said it. I don't know if I just lost my internet or what there.
I don't know what happened there, but yeah, we're just waiting on you.
Well, I'm Grant.
Off to a killer start this weekend, so that's awesome.
Let's blame it on the snow.
Yeah, it is a torrential snowstorm out there. Hope everybody's
Torrential? Do they
Yeah,
use
is
torrential
that-
with snow?
No, they do not use torrential with snowstorm.
Well, I'm starting the trend, all right? It's
No.
snowing like a motherfucker. How about that? Okay.
That's better.
So
I like it.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
all right.
Torrential snowstorm.
Stupid.
Whatever. All right. So we have another exciting upcoming weekend of football. We're going to preview for y'all and maybe recap a little bit about what happened last week. Any big news you guys want to get out of the way football wise?
Patriots suck.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers 400, baby. Quickest one to
milestone.
do it. That's awesome. I was actually gonna try and share it. I saw a video of all the 400th touchdown
Do
passes.
you not
and
have
that was
anything
really cool.
better to do than watch 400 touchdown passes?
No, not all of his. The everybody who has scored their 400th, their 400th.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So yeah,
I was gonna say, did
I
they
did a
that
terrible
makes
just
job
a super
explaining it.
YouTube video 7 hours long of 400 touchdown
I
passes?
guarantee there's one out there. I guarantee
Yeah,
there's
and
one out there.
I wouldn't be able to handle it. Like I need a towel after number 5.
To the Google machine.
Wasn't there something weird about his 100th touchdown? Like he doesn't have that ball because his 100th touchdown was somebody else's first touchdown. I thought I heard something about that.
I don't know, but it was really cool that Devontae Adams got number 200 and
Yeah.
number 400, and it
That's
just
crazy.
I forgot how long Devontae Adams has been around, man.
Yeah.
Like I know
Yeah.
when he got the 200th, it wasn't like he was not our star by any means at that point, was he?
It is not on YouTube, Tyler.
Oh, damn.
Mm.
Well, any listeners out there, you can make a video of all 400. We will share it on our page first right
Hell
away.
yeah.
I
Hell
can
yeah.
tell you every single touchdown pass he threw and who he threw it to,
We do not have that much.
but I do not have a video of it. But his first touchdown pass was to Greg Jennings, since we were making fun of him last week.
Nice. All right. So while we're on the topic of the Packers, let's talk about them first. They where is they at?
Lions.
Lions.
They
Yeah.
play a rejuvenated Lions team. Just like I said last week, new coach. They got
Okay, they barely won.
a win's a win. The
So I was
Bears
gonna say
were
Bears
barely
fan
winning.
who won their first 5 games, barely winning.
Yeah. But yeah, Green Bay travels to Detroit, which is probably a good thing for them because I'm sure it's snowing up in Green Bay as well. So
Which
they
would
get
be
an
good for
indoor
Green Bay
game.
and bad for Detroit.
Yeah. You said earlier, TJ, Kenny Galladay is also going to be out for this game too, right?
Kenny Galladay is out for this game, so if you have Marvin Jones, start him.
And the Packers are
Don't need to worry
trying
about starting them. Got to buy.
Packers are still trying to fight for that number 1 seed in the NFC. So I expect them to come out guns blazing. I don't see the Lions continuing their winning ways.
The Packers do have the ability to clinch the playoffs today, as well as they have the ability, I think, to clinch the NFC North.
Today?
Makes sense.
Yeah, if they win, Minnesota loses.
Oh, you mean tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Or
I was
tomorrow.
like, is there a game today that I didn't realize?
No, but coming
It'll
up
be
here
aired
next
Have we had a Saturday
Yeah,
game yet?
not yet,
Not
but
this week.
next
Yeah.
week?
I don't
I
know.
was gonna say normally we start that in December where we get that Saturday and Sunday game going.
Right.
Speaking of which, this is how crazy this year has been. This will be the first time in NFL history that we have had an NFL game on every day of the week.
Who played on a Friday?
The Saints and Vikings do on
Oh.
Christmas. So,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, that
That's just an insane stat on how crazy this year has been. But
Right? Like,
It really is.
so yeah, you guys, are we all on the Packers train here?
yeah.
For
Packers
against the
train?
Lions, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And at
Also,
least
can we
2
just
scores.
discuss for a moment how bad the Patriots are? That's all I really wanted to put into that conversation is the Patriots suck.
Oh no, yeah, we can bounce back to the
As
Thursday
someone
night
who
game.
started the Rams defense in his main league where he's playing for the playoffs, I'm all right with that.
Didn't you
They average
also
20
get
points.
New Orleans defense against Denver when they didn't have a quarterback too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not in my
I
main
did.
league, but in the SPI league.
And the funny thing was that wasn't even the best defense that week. It was something ridiculous. Like it was some bad team that had the best defense. I remember they put up like 40 points.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was the Thursday night game. The Patriots got steamrolled by the Rams 24-3. Cam Akers ran all over them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he did.
meanwhile,
And I had him
Patriots-
sitting on my bench.
Speaking of a
Those-
Cam Newton got benched.
rightfully so. That team is so one-dimensional. Like,
But he has been benched the last 2 games. So this game,
Maybe they should learn it.
Patriots
Not
and the
start
game-
him.
I think the problem they have is like they started Stidham earlier in the season and he was not good. So they're just like, maybe. And I
because
mean, they brought him
they-
in last game and he still threw an interception. So
That's because Belichick didn't do the one thing he's always been known for doing is he didn't prepare.
having Tom Brady.
He wasn't prepared for coming into this season. He's always prepared going into every season with whatever he has. This year he
Well, they
doesn't
picked
have a
up Cam
quarterback.
Newton, like right before the season, right?
Yeah.
They could have picked up, someone else.
I don't know if you guys listen to the Pat McAfee show, but I was listening to that at work. There are legit people on the internet asking, since the Patriots are sucking this year, was Belichick really that good of a coach, or was it just Brady? Is
I
that
mean,
a
you have to
legit
look at that
argument?
Patriots team though, because like,
Yeah.
that Patriots team has injuries everywhere. It's offensive line. They have people that neglected to come into the season. They are missing. Like,
Yeah, they
I
have like
think
what
they had
7
the
people
most-
out for the season.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
3 of those were all-star players on their team too. They had somebody in the secondary that was out. I think they had 1 or 2 people on the offensive line that neglected to play, and
Mhm.
there was somebody somewhere else. And then also on top of that, they just lost their franchise quarterback. And I think fans of Green Bay are a little bit jaded because they've gone where they had Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers. They didn't
Mhm.
have that normal layoff period that most teams have between
Mhm.
getting franchise quarterbacks.
Right.
So the Patriots didn't have that. You're talking about, I mean, outside of the game against the Rams, the Patriots, for the most part, have been in games. They haven't really been other teams haven't been really putting up a ton of points on them. The Rams, even though they steamrolled them, only put up 24.
24.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and that's why I say, Belichick is still as great of a coach as people think he is because he's doing this with literally scrubs.
To be
Like,
even
And he's also doing
even
it with a
somewhat,
quarterback that doesn't play anything like any quarterback he's coached before.
yeah,
that's
to
what I mean.
be
Everything's new
even-
for him.
to be even somewhat in the playoff picture at this point in the season with
have
that
to win it.
team is a credit to just how good Belichick is. So the people that are saying it was Belichick
I mean,
really that
they're
good?
not
Yeah,
in the playoff chase right now. The
they're
AFC
in
Not
the
anymore.
picture. Not anymore.
Not
They
anymore.
were
After
though.
that
I was
loss,
going to say the Patriots
6
would
and
have,
6.
even if they won out, couldn't make it in.
now.
Now, no, but prior to that,
10 and
6 and
6,
6,
yeah.
they had a chance, So I mean, I think he is still probably the best coach
he's-
of all time.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Because
Because, I mean, look what happened with Tom Brady. Tom Brady's in Tampa Bay, and he's just, like, average. You wouldn't really know that Jameis Winston
But
is
that's
insane if you looked at their stats.
what Brady kind of always has been is average, but then when it matters, he turns it on.
I mean,
get you
This is a guy who
there.
threw 50-plus touchdown passes in a year
Well, yeah, that
and
I mean,
has 6 Super Bowl rings, so we can't just say he's average. He was.
to mention,
And he's also, isn't he a multiple-time MVP of the year, the season, of the league
Yeah.
too? So we're talking about a guy that has been elite. It's just that his last few years, his talent level has dropped significantly.
and that's what I
Also,
mean. In the past
I
few
saw a good
years, but
info
he's
blast
still
about
down on
elite
it.
quarterbacks where they showed all these elite quarterbacks like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and the top 10 defenses they had with them. And Aaron Rodgers, of course, had the least. He had, I think, 3 in his entire career, and Tom Brady had 13.
Yeah,
So you're talking about a better than average quarterback, in my opinion, that has had the benefit of elite talent on his team with the best coach in the history of the NFL, who in Tampa Bay is pretty much playing like we all suspected he was. I thought he would play a little bit worse, but he's playing average. He's playing like Jameis Winston. So like they really not missing anything without Jameis there. I mean, there might be some locker room stuff that's better with Tom Brady there, but I have no idea.
Speaking of which, we can probably touch on that game right now.
That's why I went there.
The Bucks Minnesota.
I'm going to go Minnesota here.
This is one of the biggest games of the week. Both of these teams fighting for playoffs. Minnesota, who would have thought the way they began their season to be in the position to where they can sneak into the playoffs. They're playing really good football right now.
I mean, we knew Minnesota was a good team. It's just that they had to figure out some things defensively. And then also once Justin Jefferson really it started to click for him in the NFL, that's when they started carrying on because they've been used to having Stephon Diggs and Thielen. So, I mean, I don't know. The Vikings are red hot right now. I'm not going to pick them to go against a middling, or I'm not going to pick Tampa Bay over them in this game.
Yeah,
So
especially
Tampa Bay does have the better record at 7-5 compared to 6-6.
Especially since Tampa Bay can shut down Dalvin Cook. They have the best, rushing defense in the league in terms of yards a game. I think Tampa Bay takes this one, but I expect it to be a good game.
It'll be a good game, but I think Tampa Bay is going to take this one. It's starting to get towards playoff time, and playoff Tom is a different Tom than we all know.
And it's also
finds
a
ways-
very different Kirk Cousins too.
How many times though has Tom Brady really had to fight to get into the postseason? That's going to be interesting to see.
It's true.
Because I think
That's what
at
I'm saying.
one
He's going
point-
to bring his playoff talent that he brings every year to the regular season, trying to get into the playoffs. I think.
Okay, that's possible.
He's got to turn it on earlier.
So what do
Which
we
he
have?
can.
Well, let's see how long it
Vikings,
lasts.
Vikings,
though.
Buccaneers, Buccaneers.
Yeah,
Grant-
I'm never gonna choose the Vikings. I don't care who they're playing. I'm going
I think we're all in the
Buccaneers.
Bucks here. Yeah.
So it's TJ on the Vikings.
All right.
I do think the
Hey,
Vikings.
have you been keeping track of our picks, by the way, Aaron?
I have not, but I mean, I can go back and listen to episodes.
Yeah, we should definitely do that so we can put that as a
Yeah.
thing. Because when we get into baseball season and football isn't going on, we're gonna have to bet on something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so bored. Who are we betting on this week? I need my fix.
All right. Another marquee game this
Giants,
week in
Cardinals.
prime time. No.
No.
The now 11-1 Steelers are
Versus
coming into
Bills.
Buffalo
Yeah.
to face a good Bills team. This is a Sunday night game. Who you guys liking this one?
By the way, keeping track of how we picked last week.
Yes,
Way to
Grant
go,
called
Tyler.
that. Grant called Washington knocking off Pittsburgh. So bravo on that, Grant.
Man, Pittsburgh was the worst 11-0 team I think in history.
Wasn't I in on that with you, Grant?
Yeah, that's what I thought
It
too.
was me and Aaron went
Eh,
Steelers, and you two went Redskins like idiots.
And
If you give me
they
that
were
game
right.
again, I'm going Steelers.
Washington football team.
I don't care.
they are the team without no name.
Yeah, well, they need a name if they want me to call them by it. I'll just call them Washington from now on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, no,
I'm
because
taking
everybody's
Buffalo.
just.
I'm going to take Buffalo too.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
like
take Steelers.
Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh is very much likely going to win this game, but their first loss of the season, they haven't really been that good up until this point, even though they have been undefeated. Their season's super easy. Bills are hot right now. Got to go.
Yeah.
I'm
you also have
taking-
to think it's in Buffalo in the rain, and the Steelers at
snow.
night. It's plays in Buffalo's hands.
I mean, we're also talking
not
it could be
just-
snow in there too.
Yeah, but
It's Buffalo.
you also have to factor in this is a tired Steelers team. Not only did they have their bye week in week 4, they just got off of playing 3 games in 12 days and then have to turn around and now play a night game, when these guys are probably used to, trying to get their rest at that point in time at night, and now they have to
Right.
play a game. So
And
this
the
is a
thing is
very
they
tired
can't really
Steelers team.
rest their starters because they
Oh.
are deadlocked with Kansas City
Yeah,
for
the
that
thing-
bye.
This is the best team that they've actually faced this year. I think Buffalo.
Didn't they play Kansas City?
Mm. No, Kansas City's one loss came to your Raiders, remember?
No, yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I'm taking Buffalo. TJ's got Buffalo. Aaron, you said what?
Buffalo.
Grant.
We're going Steelers. I think they're going to come out and try and prove
You're a
everybody
fucking
wrong.
loser, Grant. Who let this guy in here?
I
You bring in
I'm
Grant,
not-
and all of a sudden we talk about F1, and he picks stupid decisions like Washington over Pittsburgh.
We do have another big
stand.
playoff
Guy
game.
we can bring in.
I was gonna jump over here to the Monday night game, AFC.
Oh, I wasn't even going to that one.
Well, I got.
I was staying on Sunday. Hold
Here's
on, I
the
was
thing,
staying
though.
on
We
Sunday.
really need to touch on all these games because all of these games have implications.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm
Even
working
like the
towards it.
really bad one, like the Chargers Falcons, that's going to affect draft
What I'm,
position.
yep, that's what I'm trying to get to here. So, the Monday night game, sticking it with the AFC North, the Ravens coming into Cleveland to face the Browns. This is finally a chance for the Browns to step up and show that they belong. They can actually beat, one of their good divisional counterparts and prove themselves that they deserve to be in the playoffs. What do you guys like here?
I want to pick Cleveland, but I'm going to pick Baltimore. I just don't know if Cleveland can get over that hump of, this is essentially a playoff game for them because they're in that point. They're trying to fight for seeding, positioning. This is a playoff game for Cleveland. I don't know if they can beat a good team like Baltimore, even at home.
I'm taking Cleveland here. They've been playing very well. Baltimore has been shaky. If they just, if Baltimore runs like they did last week, Cleveland's going to have, a tough time. But this is also a Cleveland team that can run on Baltimore too. And they're at home. I think the Browns just have so much momentum going right now.
Well, and
I'm taking Cleveland.
This is also a Browns team that just held Derrick Henry to 60 yards. So, I know it's a lot different running by the Ravens where they're more like spread them out. Derrick Henry's more just run wherever the fuck he wants to. And I think Browns take this. I think Lamar Jackson's going to choke on Monday night.
While you're on the subject of Derrick Henry only running for 60 yards, one thing I think I pointed out in our Snapchat group that we have is last week was insane for quarterbacks. You had quarterbacks all over the NFL putting up numbers, and maybe not, elite numbers because you did have, like Tagovailoa only threw for 297 yards, but for him, that is like Peyton Manning level-esque. Like that was his best performance of the season. You had Trubisky putting up numbers and played very, very good, I thought. You had Tannehill putting up over 300 yards and like 3 touchdowns.
He had to in that game.
Nuts. Yeah. But it's one of those things where you were looking across the league and almost every quarterbacks in every game except for a couple were just putting up heat.
Yeah. So let's go to our resident Browns fan. Tyler, who do you got in this game?
Like I said, it's my birthday. If the Browns are going to give me a birthday present, I'm taking the Browns in this one.
Yeah,
It's you. I will take the Browns to the Super Bowl later on.
I'll say no. It's gonna be it's a night game in Cleveland. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be a running game, and Cleveland is a better running game than Baltimore does.
Which is funny because Baltimore is more known for it.
Yeah, but
they're way more.
Baltimore's team's talent isn't there. They're good. But I would not put Baltimore in the top of the top anymore. After last year, they figured it out. Again, they're 3 games behind the Browns.
Yeah, they're slumping. They did pick up a win last week, but that was against a really inferior Cowboys team. But moving on here.
And I would also like to point out, Tyler, how wrong you are about that the Browns can run the football better than the Ravens. Considering the Ravens have the best rushing attack in the NFL for 2 years straight.
But the Browns also, they can match. They're 2 different.
I'm saying the Browns have better running backs.
Yeah,
backs. Yeah. Because if you look at it across the board, the Browns are 3rd, so they're not chumps by any means. Number 2 is the Patriots, which is still shocking to me because I don't see them putting up like any 100-yard games where you see Chubb dropping like 150. But the Ravens have over 2,000 rushing yards so far in the season. They have more touchdowns. They have more yards per carry, more 20-plus yards, and they're tied at 40-plus yards. They also rush on first down a lot more. but they have fumbled less. But outside of that, Baltimore pretty much takes down Cleveland in every category as far as rushing.
Oh, I guess I was wrong, but
that's not to say like the Browns are number 3 in the league. So
when you have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb back there,
Yeah.
it's
you're
tough.
yeah.
Not to mention all of Cleveland's receivers stomp all over any of Baltimore's receivers too.
Right.
So
yeah,
as a more complete offense, I think Cleveland has them beat on that part.
they also I think Cleveland has a better defense too
I agree.
That could, yeah.
with Myles Garrett. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, touching on that, bravo to Myles Garrett. He is the Cleveland Browns nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
Yeah.
This is a guy just last year that we thought was going to go to jail for assaulting Mason Rudolph with his own helmet.
okay, no one ever thought he was going to go to jail.
Yeah, nobody thought he was going to
Could
go
have
to jail.
been.
And actually, I thought Myles Garrett was fucking justified in that.
Yeah,
Maybe
I-
not
what
like
was
beating
said?
a dude with his helmet,
Yeah.
but in everything how that happened. I mean, dude was like, I don't know. I don't want to get into that whole thing again because it's
Yeah.
a year old, but I definitely thought Myles Garrett was
Oh, yeah.
did not
just
deserve
saying.
the penalty he got.
Myles Garrett did what we all want to do. When someone talks shit to you, you beat them with their own
And
helmet.
has
That's
3
great.
friends surrounding him while he talks shit to you.
He literally did the NFL version of the Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
I do want to point out one thing with that is like what Tyler just said. Yeah, it was some guy talking shit to you the whole time while hiding behind 2 of his very large friends.
Yeah.
And then another friend ran in after dude was like, I've had enough. So it was like 5-on-1 for that fight. And Marquise Pouncey came in throwing bombs.
I just see Myles Garrett re-narrating Happy Gilmore. I still hold 2 league records, most times ejected, and I'm the only guy to take off some other dude's helmet and try and bash him in the head with it.
That was his own helmet, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right. So moving on here, staying in the AFC with another big playoff implication game here. The Colts travel to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders.
Ooh. So the Raiders need to win out. They're going to have to, just because if you look at the AFC, you have the Colts at 8-4, you have the Chiefs at 11-1, the Steelers at 11-1, the Browns at 9-3, the Ravens at 7-5, the Dolphins at 8-4, the Bills at 9-3, the Titans at 8-4. Like there are a lot of teams that are fighting for playoff contention. If the Raiders want a shot, they have got to win out.
They need to win this game. This will pay huge dividends to their playoff push.
You better
know
hope
if
Josh
they
Jacobs
can.
plays then.
If who?
Yeah. Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs plays.
Oh, right.
He's questionable right now with the ankle injury still.
You guys all make your decisions while I ponder this for a minute, because this is like deep in my soul.
Oh, easy Colts.
Are we really gonna talk about the Raiders and not talk about last game?
Can we not?
We'll get
talk
to
about
that.
last
The
game?
We'll get to that.
Jets?
We
Wait,
will
we
get
still
to that
won,
when
so
we
whatever.
talk to the Jet. When we talk about the Jets, how about?
Apparently,
thought
a win is
TJ
still
was-
a win.
No, I thought you were gonna be like losing your shit, dude. I don't care if it was against the Jets. That was fucking.
I knew the Jets weren't going to win that game. I mean, I was a little bit worried with 5 seconds left, and Derek Carr had to make the final play.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't think we were going to lose that game. I don't know. And then, especially when I saw Ruggs pull that double move, I was like, game over. Before Carr even threw the ball, I was game over.
We'll get to the Jets side of that when we talk to their game.
Nope.
But as far as this game goes, God, I don't know. I really don't know.
They're very similar teams. That neither
Yeah.
team really jumps off the paper and impresses you in any real aspect. Colts defensively are pretty solid, though.
I was just gonna say, I think it's a Colts defense that
It's not really an easy pick at all. I just like to say that because of TJ being a Raiders fan. It's in Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
Here's my thing: is every time I talk shit about Las Vegas, they win or they do really, really well. So I'm going to go with the Colts because the Raiders suck. I hope they heard that.
Say something about Josh Jacobs too. I need him to have
Josh
a good
Jacobs is never going to play again.
The Raiders. The Raiders.
This is the one time my predictions are correct. Josh Jacobs is out for the rest of his career.
The rest of his
career, what do you do? Get Lou Gehrig's disease? What?
Yes. His ankle actually fell off.
God, I hope not. I need him.
Him and Dak are just lined up in a building waiting to be shot.
No. The Raiders have been putting up points though. They've scored 30 plus in 4 of their last 5 games, although they do face a very tough Indianapolis defense. I don't know. I kind of want to go with the Raiders here. I kind of like how they're playing right now. And if Jacobs doesn't play, it could be a different story. But Devontae Booker's been filling in when he needs to fairly
Devontae
decently.
Booker has been very solid for Las Vegas.
Not fantasy football wise. Fucking got me
No.
like
No,
5
but like
points.
when
That
you
pissed
need
me
fucking
off.
points from when you need a big play, it seems like Booker has been delivering all year long.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Raiders there. I think home team pulls that one out. I'm gonna go Raiders in a very close game.
So it's what me and Tyler Colts.
I'm told.
So us three
Colts,
Colts,
me-
you Raiders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. And then 2 more games here with playoff implications. Chiefs and Dolphins. Chiefs travel to Miami. Chiefs have a 9-game road winning streak. It's the longest in the NFL. Does that continue this week?
Yes, Chiefs.
Yeah.
I
think
will
so.
never bet against the Chiefs this season.
It's hard not
Not
to.
gonna do it.
Like,
They
God,
make it look so effortless.
It
They
does.
do.
Like Patrick Mahomes just looks like he's screwing around.
They could be down 20 points and be like, you know what? All right, let's try and
Yeah.
play now.
This is what the second. This is what the second game we've seen Patrick Mahomes struggle in the first half and then just
Yeah.
out the second half.
And I was watching that game against the Broncos. I'm like, do the Broncos have their number tonight? Is this really gonna happen? And then before you know it, it's like
it was a
boom.
divisional game, but
Mhm.
I mean,
Still
there's
the
been a
Broncos.
couple times we've seen Patrick Mahomes just lay an egg in the first half, like
Mhm.
he's just screwing around, and then the second half he's like, "All right, I'll play serious now," and then just
Yeah.
roasts people.
The only thing that I think could give them trouble, and it gives every team trouble, is traveling to Miami and that humidity down there.
It's
This is-
yeah, but I mean, we're talking this is December. That humidity's
It's-
not going to be that bad.
Also,
False. As
Is it
someone
really?
who's lived there, the humidity down there is just as bad, and it's gonna be still 83
Is it?
degrees.
That's
Yes.
disgusting. Why would anybody
But-
move to Florida? All you
Also, remember
snowbirds out
this.
there, you're dumb. Stay where it's cold. Avoid humidity. That's the
Also-
one thing I don't get. People that are snowbirds from like Wisconsin to Florida, right? Why choose another super humid? Why do you want to live your whole
Right.
year in humidity?
Right.
Answer me this, please, old people.
Yes, because old people listen to this.
Yeah, I was just gonna
don't
say
know if
They
comment
might.
below,
Target
please.
demographic.
They might find my offensiveness, intriguing.
no.
Sunny
a
boy.
point.
No.
Just a point to keep in mind here, though. The last time Kansas City played in Miami, they were hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. So they
They're
have
pretty good in Miami.
Yeah, especially around this type of year. So, yeah, I'm gonna go the Chiefs. It's hard to pick
Chiefs.
against them. So
Chiefs.
I do want to point out if the Buccaneers do get to the postseason, the Super Bowl is being played in Tampa Bay.
mhm.
Yeah.
So another place Kansas City could go in and win in high humidity for the Super Bowl.
Very true. Very
Is there
true.
humidity in Tampa Bay? I know it's the same damn state.
Yeah. In February, it's not really that humid.
February is never really humid. Oh, me.
All right. One more big game that
God
has some playoff implications here. The struggling Cardinals head into New York to take on the
That is
division leading Giants.
this is one of the most intriguing games for me because the Giants do not impress me at all. And the Cardinals have impressive moments, but they've struggled. They were right in the mix for playoff contention like 3 weeks ago.
Started 5-2, and they are now 6-6. Kyler Murray has been struggling. They need
Cardinals
to get
get
him
back on
running
track
more.
this week, Aaron.
They need to get him running more.
Yeah.
If he
I think he's-
rushes
I think he's
for
hurt.
less, he could be.
He's not. He hasn't been rushing
the
lately. I
way,
think he's hurt.
Something we did miss about the Colts game, Phillip Rivers does have a pretty substantial foot injury. He's going to be getting surgery on after the season. So I don't know how that will affect his play, but while we're talking about quarterbacks with injuries.
I mean, he'll just talk more shit.
T.Y.
to
Hilton is apparently a thing again.
Yeah.
It was 1 week. Do not
Two.
get
He
people's hopes
actually
up.
has 2 touchdowns in the past 3 weeks.
Wow.
Oh, is that 2 for the season?
That is 2 for the
Yeah.
season, yes.
Which terrible
you
year.
are correct.
Terrible year for him to have an off year because this is his free agent year. So
Yeah.
he really needs to turn it on if he wants to, get an extension or a
There's
new
not
contract or
much of a
anything.
market for a guy like T.Y. Hilton, though. I mean,
Right.
yeah, all he's going to do is burn. It shows this year he's not a great route runner. I don't know. There's maybe a couple teams with strong arm quarterbacks that are looking for a guy like Tyreek Hill or Henry Ruggs, or a guy that just burns people down the field. But
I would love to have him up in Green Bay.
I would love to have him up in Green Bay. You would love to have anybody with a pulse in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Every
I'll love
time we
anybody.
talk about
That's
a
just-
receiver, you're like, I'd love to have him in Green Bay.
Yeah,
Michael
because
Irvin,
we
bring him
need
back. I'll take him
fucking
in Green Bay.
leadership.
Randy Moss wants to come back. Oh, Green Bay.
I would take Randy Moss back. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's Randy
Why?
Moss. It's Randy Moss.
He's
Yeah.
60.
I don't care. He's still fast.
Terrell Owens, you want him too? Chad Ochocinco, let's go.
Dude, Chad Ochocinco, I think, could still play.
Ochocinco, I think, could play.
That's
Terrell
Terrell
Owens
Owens
Coming back
though.
would be cool.
All three of them can
He
still
did
play.
wanna come
T.O.,
back like a
Moss,
year or
and
two.
Ochocinco can still play.
Ochocinco is talking about coming back like a year or two ago.
By the way, he's back
but
to
nobody
Chad
wanted
Johnson
him.
now, right?
Well,
He's not Ochocinco.
I think so,
anymore.
yeah.
I don't know.
He probably saw
Him
what
and
AB
Adam
was
Jones
doing.
change their names every week.
All right, back to the game at hand that we were talking about, though. Cardinals and Giants. Who do you guys have here?
I'm gonna go Cardinals.
Yeah, you're Cardinals. Yeah, just
I'm going Giants.
I know
I'm
some
going
of
Giants
the players'
too.
names.
The Cardinals are struggling. Giants are
Boo.
at
Quick
home.
question. When can
Giants are
Saquon
hot.
come back?
Not this year.
Next year.
No, he can't. I'm just saying, could he come back for the playoffs at all? Is that a possibility? Because
I would not even push
I'm
it.
pretty sure that the injured.
they have a chance to make the playoffs.
So I'm pretty sure.
You're coming
I
off an
don't know
ACL
exactly
tear,
what the
though.
injured reserve rules are, but I think they have 3 different types. They have a short term, which is 3 weeks. I believe they have like a midterm, which is 8, and then they have a full season. And I'm pretty sure they threw him on the.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know if he could come back or not because I know sometimes ACL tears. Yes, I know it's so bad, but I mean, we saw AP probably could have came back that year.
Mm, I don't know. I don't see him coming back even if they do make the playoffs, but I do see them winning this game. They're playing very well right now. Again, a struggling Cardinals team. They're
Their
traveling.
defense has been
They're
playing
traveling
really well.
across the country. A lot of people don't factor in travel times too. That they're
So-
traveling from warm climate to cold climate all across the country. Time zone differentials that can really throw people off too. So
Okay, so there are 2 different types of injured reserve this season. There is a COVID injured reserve, which is a 21-day, and then there is the normal injured reserve, which is 6 weeks worth of practice and 8 weeks worth of games. So technically, they may be able to bring him back, but we're talking about a running back with an ACL injury.
yeah,
I don't think he's
In a year where it's not like the Giants can get hot and win the Super Bowl, like
Right.
more the future, you don't want to
I
risk.
don't know.
Yeah,
you
you wanna
don't
risk-
think the great Daniel Jones could do it?
not when he's hurt too. I mean,
I'm
you see the
surprised
he's
Rams
the
this
new
week.
guy.
Daniel Jones has 5 wins. 4 wins because Colt McCoy got him 1.
Yeah. But yeah, so are we all on the Giants? Or Tyler, you said
I said
Giants.
I
Cardinals.
said Giants.
You 2 said Cardinals.
He
Okay,
said
Yeah.
those 2 said Cardinals. You and me said Giants.
all right. We'll just try and rapid fire here. I say that every week, but we never happen to actually rapid fire through it. But we'll try our best. The rest of the games are pretty much meaningless. We'll start over in Carolina. The Broncos come to town. 2 4-8 teams.
Panthers,
Panthers.
because
Just go.
I mean, I just gut feeling.
Christian McCaffrey's probably not playing in this game either, right?
Yeah,
He had
Does he
been-
play football anymore?
he
I
tries
keep
to.
hearing every week. he's gonna come back, and he just
right.
doesn't.
They're glad Carolina made him the most highly paid running back of all time.
Right.
Happens
He's
all the
doing
time.
great.
Mhm.
I'm going to go
Um,
Denver.
I'm going to go Denver too. I think they played really well against Kansas City last week. The best they probably could play against the Chiefs. I think if they keep that rolling, they'll pick up a victory. So
And Drew Lock seems to play really well against bad teams.
moving on.
Sign of a great quarterback right there.
Finally, we'll get to talking about my Bears. They welcome the Texans. I am picking the Texans in this game because I think Deshaun Watson has been waiting to bitch slap Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy for not even giving him a look in the draft, and I think he's gonna ball out against this Bears team. That's just not even trying anymore. It seems so. I'm
I do
taking the
not think
Texans.
Deshaun Watson gives a fuck about that draft
Mm,
because he's looking at it and now he's like, okay, I could be in the exact same position in Chicago. But in this situation, I am picking Houston just because Chicago is bad.
I'm going Houston as well.
Houston.
Same reasons.
So I do feel if
Houston.
Trubisky plays like he did last week, Chicago does have a chance to win.
Yeah, Mitch probably played one of his best games. He just unfortunately shitty blocking led to a fumble at the end of the game that really turned it around for the Lions there. But
Here's
again,
the thing
the
about
whole
Trubisky,
team.
though, Aaron. The guy has shown he can play.
Mhm.
He just cannot do it consistently. Which, if he can figure that out, I mean, you guys don't have an Aaron Rodgers down there, but you do have something better than Jay Cutler,
Yes,
who is your franchise best quarterback of all time.
but this is where it leads me to question: is Trubisky bad, or is the system that he's in bad? You don't
Yes.
know. Yeah, you don't know. Like, because Trubisky shows signs of being a good quarterback, and is that because Nagy actually calls the right plays at the time, or the scheme's right at that time, or what? You don't know.
My thing is you have to have some kind of talent to become an NFL quarterback.
Mhm.
Those games he shows that he has talent to be there. That's just him playing his job, doing his job. And it looks like it's spectacular. It's nothing crazy that when he has great games. His great games are just compared to his very bad games.
Yeah.
So they look like great games, but really they're just games.
You know what's funny though, is that you just mentioned Deshaun Watson getting passed over. Patrick Mahomes in a Bears jersey could have been a thing.
And that's why.
There's a lot of things.
That's why. But the reason why I say that is because Deshaun Watson wasn't even given a look by the Bears. Basically, they never brought him in for an interview. I don't even think they sent scouts to his pro day. He wasn't even on their radar. Basically, they might have said he was, but he wasn't. And I think he really wants to throw it back in their face. Like, you didn't want to take me, well then I'm gonna burn you, just like Mahomes did to them last year. So I think that's what's going to happen. Not to mention he's been playing outstanding as well. They probably would have won that game last week if it wasn't for that botch snap at the end. So, all right. So moving on here with these meaningless games. Dallas comes into Cincinnati. This game really has no meaning whatsoever besides
That's not true.
draft pick status. Yes, the Cowboys still have a chance, but
There are 4 games left, and they are 2 games out of first behind the Giants.
watching
It's
this team
impossible.
play, though, do they really have a chance? Because
I think Cowboys are going to win this game,
Well, yeah, it's the Bengals. I'll take the Cowboys in this too.
which means they're 1 game behind if the Giants lose,
If the Giants lose,
which I have them losing.
I don't.
Tyler, you're muted.
Tyler, you muted. Dumbass.
All right. Thank you guys. Shut up. So answer me this. What you guys think about this? Are the Cowboys going to keep Dak? After that injury, he's on a contract year. He was franchised or whatever. Are they going to keep him, or are they going to try and go for either Lawrence or Fields or whatever they can get in the
The
first round?
question
bet
is,
they
can
franchise
they
him again.
can they re-franchise tag him?
Yeah.
If they can, they will.
Because that gives him another year to prove himself. Because he was playing, fairly well before.
Yeah.
But that's not enough.
He was playing extremely well. That wasn't fairly well. Dude still has I was looking it up fantasy wise like a couple weeks ago. He still had more points than Daniel Jones.
Jesus. That's insane.
No, Dak.
And that
He
was
was
within a
playing
week
out
or
of his
two.
mind. He was playing for that contract.
Dude, yeah, he was playing contract year.
I mean,
fucking
he was on
football.
pace to shatter every passing record.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I think with Dallas, you need to focus your draft on either getting some more help on
Offensive
that
line.
offensive line or on that defense, because that defense is atrocious. And I don't understand how, because there's a lot of talent over there, but they just
That's the
can't put
thing.
it together.
I think they need to work on their offensive line, and they're going to be another team like the McCarthy Packers, where the defense wasn't the greatest, but the offense would outscore you. They have so many weapons on offense that I think that's what they're going to try and go for.
The thing with their line, though, is that they have a good line. It's just everybody's hurt right now. You know, Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins, Zach Martin, I think went down in that last game. They're all out. So they need more, depth and future wise on that offensive line more than anything, hoping that those guys can come back from their injuries next year. But do we all like the Cowboys in this game?
Yep.
Yeah. Unless they're trying to tank. Yeah.
Like, God.
You're going
Yeah,
with
I'll
Jim
go
Burrowless
Cowboys.
Bengal?
No, I just
Okay. All right, we're all on the Cowboys. Okay.
Yeah.
8-4 Titans divisional game against the Jaguars in Jacksonville. What do you guys like here?
I like Derrick Henry on vacation. It's
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's gonna
that's
be
what I'm saying.
Tennessee.
He's gonna be like, oh, I rested on the beach this morning and now I'm at the game.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, once
here's
again,
kind of
it's
my thing, right? Like, why are you not playing Minshew? You have no shot. Like, at this point, you have no shot to really improve your draft stock. Play Minshew. We know what Glennon is, right?
He hasn't
don't know
looked
who Luton
terrible
is.
these past couple weeks, to be honest with you.
Minshew hasn't played. He's been on the bench.
No, I'm saying Glennon hasn't looked bad.
Oh, yeah, but at the same time, like, I don't care. We know what he is. You don't know what you really have in Minshew because this year he's been fighting off injuries, and I know he's injured right now, so that's why he's on the bench. But you're probably not going to get Trevor Lawrence because
I
he's
don't
going to
think
go
it
to the Jets.
matters because they're going to go for either Fields or Lawrence, whoever's there at number 2.
Well, I don't think they go with Lawrence. I don't know. I mean, you have a guy that you believe can be your franchise quarterback like they have in Minshew, or they believe they have your franchise,
yeah, I don't believe.
Do you still go there and you grab Lawrence
because the Jets still have Sam Darnold, who they think is their franchise quarterback.
And the Jets.
No, they do not. There has been a lot of talk about them not liking Darnold.
Yeah.
Well, who is supposed to be their franchise quarterback? I mean,
but
there's a difference, right? Minshew is a guy that they didn't draft to be their franchise quarterback and has stepped up, and they want to give him a shot at it. Where in New York, they're at the point where they're just like total rebuild. And honestly, I know everyone's all in on Trevor Lawrence. I'm not. I think Trask is a better quarterback in this draft.
Mm-hmm. But also keep in mind too, Trevor Lawrence can also pull a fast one and return to college. He is only a junior. He still has one more year of eligibility left. He doesn't have to come out in this draft.
They're going to take whoever the best quarterback is available at their position, is what I'm saying. Either Fields or Lawrence, whoever else is out there.
I disagree.
I think Jacksonville takes quarterback here.
I don't. I think
I don't think they do either.
Between
Minshew and
100% with Tyler. I'm 100% with Tyler. They're going.
Are you talking about Jake Luton?
No. What about Jake Luton?
I thought that's maybe who you were talking about.
Mm-mm.
No, but
I honestly think I think they're going to take Penei Sewell. I think they're going to go offensive line in Jacksonville and grab the dude from Oregon, I believe.
That's where you should start before you jump on a quarterback like that.
That's where any team should start.
You could bring in Trevor Lawrence or Fields, but who the hell is he going to throw the football to? Who's he going to stay up long enough to throw the football? They have a great running back now with an 7th round pick, James Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think you build up your offensive line and give Minshew a shot because, you could go put money on Fields or whatever it is that you want to go with, but I don't think Fields is that good.
No,
I don't think Lawrence is that good. This season has sucked for college because you're not really seeing how great people are, but Trask has had the opportunity and has impressed me when he plays. Fields and Lawrence really haven't this year. I don't know. I'm not saying Lawrence is a bad quarterback. He could very well be outstanding, but I'm just not huge on his hype train.
So we all on the Titans train there?
Yeah. But going back to what the Jaguars...
I do want to point out before you go on, though, Grant, I have not watched as much tape as I normally do because there hasn't been a lot of it. I normally start watching that in February, so my opinion may change.
Well, I mean, with the Jags, how many times have we said, like, okay, this is by far the best 1-11 team now that we've seen? Like, if they can get another piece, I mean, they're not going to be a dynasty or any shit like that, but they can really turn into a playoff hunt consistently year by year and then just keep building onto that if they get a quarterback. I mean, you're wondering, who do they have the ball who do they have to throw the ball to? I mean, I'm impressed with Shark. I like him.
Who?
Conley's been
DJ Shark.
DJ Shark.
Shark's decent.
Yeah,
Shark,
and
Conley.
Conley's been lining up opposite him, and they've been working well. I mean, it's
Keelan Cole hasn't been too bad, and the rookie
Yeah.
Laviska Chenault is proving,
They have
nice
they have a
to
lot
watch.
of talent there. They
Yeah.
have a
I
lot of
think if
talent
you
that's
want,
not
if you
big
want to
names,
not
but
be a
they're
1-11 team, you need to build up your offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
and we're just looking at offense here, right? Because Jacksonville's defense is not good. Yes, they have. They don't have Ngakoue anymore. They don't have Calais Campbell anymore. They've lost a lot of pieces. Jalen Ramsey's gone. All of these center pieces they had when Jacksonville had this darling defense of the NFL are gone. Realistically, I don't know if they necessarily even need an offensive piece in this draft. Maybe build up your defensive side of the ball because your offense is just constantly on the field because other teams are just marching through you to score points. And really, I mean, if you look at it, my number one defensive player right now is Gregory Rousseau out of Miami. And he's a defensive end. And I have him going 4 to 6, like somewhere in that range. I think Jacksonville is kind of screwed with how bad they are because your top two candidates, in my opinion, the way I have them ranked is Trevor Lawrence and Sewell, the tackle. And you could go Sewell with the tackle, but their offensive line isn't that bad that a number 2 overall pick on a tackle would be really worth it. So I look defensively where you have Rousseau from Miami as a defensive end, and then maybe Caleb Farley. But do you take a corner number 2 when he's not a Patrick Peterson level corner? I don't think so. There's not a lot of upper end defensive talent in this draft. So I think this is a bad year for Jacksonville to suck.
When I say Jacksonville takes a quarterback, that's not me saying Jacksonville should take a quarterback. I think they have other positions they need to fill before the quarterback is picked. I think Jacksonville as a team, the way that unit is going to take a quarterback. The way that team, the front offices, everything, yeah. I think they're going to take a quarterback.
It's very possible for the number one reason of that guy, the owner loves money, and you bring people in with a Trevor Lawrence compared to whoever else. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Well, right, and even then too, I mean, when you're drafting that high up, I mean, how many times are you going to have that chance to like go out there and get a top 2 quarterback? Like, it's kind of one of those, like, you got to take what you can get. And if it means sacrificing a year, you just hope that doesn't break that quarterback.
And for the most part, the last few years, where we used to have this thing where your top quarterbacks are maybe 50-50 on if they're going to play out well or if they're going to be terrible. Last few years, these top quarterbacks have been very good, especially this last year with Herbert and what's his face and what's his other face. I can't remember.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
No, well, actually, I'll tie that in here. I'll tie that in here to our next game. Speaking of quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts gets his first start this week as the Saints come to Philadelphia.
Saints are going to roll them.
Yeah.
Is
everyone's
Taysom Hill starting or
that's Hill.
It's still Hill.
Still Hill. Okay, well, it's still the Saints winning. I was just curious.
You are going to see nothing different from Hurts under center than you were seeing with Wentz because the problem wasn't necessarily Wentz. They have nothing on offense, nothing, no receivers, no offensive line.
Wentz is
running backs are weak. Yeah, and for good reason. He's always under pressure.
Carson Wentz just should retire.
Why?
Because he's gotten paid and he has a ring. What more do you fucking need?
To play the game that you love?
Yeah.
When you suck,
to make more money?
Like he does.
But that's the thing. You're saying that their faults are on him when I don't think he's playing bad because he sucks. I think he's playing bad because he doesn't have a single receiver worth their weight. He has 2 tight ends, which are his only targets on offense. Their running game is terrible. Their offensive line is a fucking sieve. Where are you looking for Wentz to be successful here? He has nothing to throw to and no time to find somebody to get open. You're going to see the exact same thing out of Hurts as you have been seeing out of Wentz. You could bring in Peyton Manning in his prime, and you're going to see the same thing out of Peyton Manning as you have out of Wentz. There is nothing there to be used by that offense.
Wentz has the
Doug
best
Peterson is a
job
joke.
in the NFL. I mean, look at Blue Mountain State style. Like he's backup quarterback. He's getting paid and
Alex
riding the
Moran.
bench.
Yeah.
Dude, I was actually just thinking about that show
Best job
yesterday.
in the NFL.
Man, I need to
I
go
should
watch
have
that
fucking
again.
wear that. I should have worn that jersey.
The rise
Yeah.
of Thad.
Next week, I'll rock the Alex Moran jersey. How about that?
Nice.
All right.
Yo.
Moving on here. Falcons go into Los Angeles to take on the Chargers.
Cares.
Who cares?
It's true, but I'm gonna take the Falcons in this one.
I'm taking Chargers.
I'm gonna go with the Falcons. Yeah.
I love Matt Ryan, man. I love.
I think it's gonna be a really close, like pretty high scoring game. I hope.
Oh yeah, it's.
I
Gonna
want
be
to
a
see.
shootout.
I want to see.
I don't know.
Herbert
Apparently,
go
the
up
Falcons'
against them.
defense is next level good.
I think the Chargers want to put some points on the board after they got fucking stomped.
43-6, Grant.
Oh,
All right.
Are they?
Still, I told you, said
Oh, I
we
didn't
could
say
talk
are
about this. Still winless Jets travel to Seattle to take on.
I don't care who else they are playing. I don't care if you were about to be either playing the North Dakota Mountaineers. I don't even know if that's a team,
Nope.
but if they were, I'd be picking the North Dakota Mountaineers.
The Jets did fire Greg Williams, their defensive coordinator, this last week after the questionable decision to blitz 7 people on the last play.
I understand that because the week before they did not blitz and lost, and now they blitzed and lost.
It's no matter what they do, they're still gonna lose.
Yeah. It's the Jets.
Yeah, it's the Jets.
There's a certain magic to their shittiness.
Anybody picking them to beat Seattle?
as much as I would love to see it, no.
Again, another game has gone by where we have seen Russell Wilson play like ass.
Yeah. I mean, don't put it past them. The Jets could surprise people, but I don't see it.
No, they can't.
Jets, Jets.
Suck.
And I
So,
feel
yeah, we're
bad
on
because
Seattle.
one of my good friends is a Jets fan, and like I pretty much have been ragging on him for the past 3 years being a Raiders fan, and this year is just ultra bad for him.
All right,
You know,
last
COVID
game.
and your team sucks.
Last game of the week here, the 5-7 Washington football team travels to the 5-7 Arizona 49ers.
Yeah,
I was wondering if you were going to put that in there again.
This is a tough one to call,
I'm
honestly.
saying Washington. With this, Alex Smith, you guys, everyone's
God, I
right
love
with
Alex
this.
Smith.
Alex Smith has came back. He is comeback player of the year for sure.
Mhm.
He deserves it. He's
He could-
amazing.
He could get injured today for the rest of the season, and I think he wins comeback player of the year.
I think honestly,
Just the
he's going
fact
to
that
lead
he
that team to the
stepped foot.
playoffs.
Yeah.
You know,
He's going to lead
Tyler,
Washington to the playoffs.
I think this is the first time when you have been talking about a game that you have swayed my opinion. I am changing my opinion to the Washington team.
I'm going to go Washington also.
Yeah, I'm going Washington as well.
Who are they
Unanimous.
playing? I forgot already.
The Niners.
Screw the Niners. Let's go. Washington in the
playing-
playoffs.
They're
So here's
riding,
the thing.
they're riding
If
high off of
Washington
a
makes the
victory.
playoffs as the Washington football team, do you think they try to change their name?
They've already said it's an option that they're going to keep the Washington football team.
Nobody likes that name, not even the Washington football team fans.
I said it before. It's a chance for them to sell more merchandise if they change the name, because you had everybody buy a bunch of Washington football team shit this year. Change the name, then they're gonna have to buy a
Who
bunch of new
bought
shit.
their? Actually, that would be kind of cool.
They're 7 fans,
Probably
okay?
Washington fans.
All right.
And look at those. Like if you have
I
a
actually,
mixed edition
I'm not
Washington
gonna lie.
football
Now I
team
kind of
jersey-
want to get a Washington football team hat. Just be like, yeah, that.
Let
was
me
it
ask you a question,
back
Grant.
then.
If the Packers change their name to the Green Bay football team, would you not go buy their jersey just to say that you had the Green Bay football team jersey?
Yes,
Even if
absolutely.
you knew they were changing
Dude,
their
I'm
name,
not
that'd be
even-
like a collector's thing. I have a jersey from
That's
the
what I'm
one year
saying
they
is I'm
were
not.
the team.
I was gonna say that's why I'm like debating on now looking at Washington hats. Like, see, just have
Just to be
that.
like, I have that hat from the one year they didn't have a team name.
I mean, and like
That's
they're
part of like
kinda cool
history.
colors, right?
They're cool colors. Their colors have not changed. Just
No,
so
I know.
you're
I know.
aware of that.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's cool. They're cool colors. Like I can wear it, but whatever.
I mean, the problem is that since their colors are the same, it just looks like You know the Packers jersey with the dark blue and the brown and all that they have? They're like throwback jerseys.
Yeah.
Their Washington football team jerseys just look like throwbacks. Like they
And-
just don't have the Redskin logo, but they
It
have the
is-
colors and everything
Yeah.
else.
Well, I know Aaron and I were talking about it. Madden actually went in, and on this new Madden, there's only they have no throwback jerseys or anything. It's just this year's. Like they took out everything.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right.
So.
Which is disappointing to me because I love to play throwback jersey games.
Same.
Oh, dude.
If I
That's
mostly
half
sim
the-
my Madden games, but if I do play them, it's always a unique jersey, like a color rush or something.
Yeah.
Bring
That's-
back the color rush, by the way. Color
Yeah.
rush jerseys were sick.
Yeah. I wish they do that. Okay. All right. But that is going to wrap up our preview of this week 14 action.
I just want to point out once again, once you said we're going to do some rapid fire, we spent
Never
a
happens.
lot
Nope.
of time talking
Sorry,
Sorry,
about,
I like to talk.
talking about
Yeah.
the fucking Jaguars, folks.
Yep.
I mean, we talked about
Alright.
a couple of teams like the Patriots and stuff, but yeah, I like to talk, guys. I'm not going to change.
But we're gonna move on. We'll get back to football here with trivia in a little bit, but we're gonna move on to a couple other sports. There hasn't really been too much basketball news, but
Except basketball's back.
it's
Last
back.
night, preseason started.
Yep.
And John Wall played.
And James Harden didn't because
Nope.
he hasn't reported to camp at all. So
Nope.
There's-
James Harden has not reported to camp yet, but he's still seeking a trade from the team, and he's added Miami and the Bucks to the teams he wants to go to.
Who is that?
Which James
Harden.
Harden.
we talked about this in our Snapchat. I think Milwaukee would be a decent landing spot for him. It's the complementary
only-
scorer that
The
Giannis
only
needs.
way that he'd be a good fit there is they have to trade Middleton,
Oh yeah.
and then you'd have him at the 2. You cannot have Harden run the point.
No.
You need to have
But
Drew
here's the
Drew
thing.
Holiday running the point with that, because
I
Harden's
think
a
he's still going to run the point. That's the problem with Harden. He's such a ball hog.
that's the thing. The only way he's going to work is if he does not run the point, because you need someone that's got the vision of the court to run the point, and Harden does not have that.
No.
Are there, and because you know more about basketball than I do, Tyler, are there any teams that could be contenders that are not good defensive teams that just care about scoring? Because for a while you had the Denver Nuggets.
Houston.
Yeah.
Because they adapted the small ball style. They at one
I
point their
don't
starting
think
lineup didn't have
any
anybody
team in
over
playoff
6'7".
contention is going to want to bring Harden in and disrupt whatever chemistry they have, because all these teams that have been playoff contenders have gotten it through their roster and playing well and getting together as a team. And then you're going to bring in a guy that just is all about himself. I don't want to put that into my team.
Like I said, he'd work great coming as a number 2 guard, which is what he initially played when he was in OKC. Harden's initial position is a shooting guard, and if he came in and played that, it'd be great. Have Drew Holiday run the point, have him run the 2. I mean, you got Giannis in the 4. I mean,
it's good in theory, but the practicality of it is he going to play with the team, or is he going to try to take it over and Giannis becomes a side piece waiting for the ball because Harden won't give it up?
Right. But
he would have to come in knowing it's not his team.
Yeah, and I don't
it just in the simple fact that it would take a load off Giannis of not having to do everything, that would be a good landing spot for Harden.
Right.
If they could find, that yin and yang balance, it would be a good, 1-2 combo. And you could call him a big 3 with Holiday too. But can they all mesh? Just like it was rumored that he was going to go to Brooklyn too. That would be horrible, because you have him, Kyrie, and Durant there.
Right.
That's 3 egos that will not mesh together. I don't care what anybody says.
There's a reason why he left OKC. He wanted to be the
Yeah.
star and not be
Mhm.
behind Durant.
Yeah.
Why
And
would he
then
want to
you
go
go
back
back
to being behind
behind
Durant?
Yeah, I didn't even think of that aspect of it.
Right. So,
So,
yeah.
the only news that really happened in the NBA is, for some stupid reason, the Clippers decided to, I don't know, give themselves an atomic wedgie by giving Paul George a supermax contract. I mean, Paul George is not an elite star.
Not
He is
anymore.
not he's not someone you'd build a team around. There's no team in the NBA that if Paul George came to your team, you'd be a championship contender. Paul George is not worth a supermax deal, and the Clippers are stupid.
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago when he was still in Indiana before he broke his leg. Yeah.
He is not the same. He's good.
He's top 50 in the league, but
he's not supermax deal worthy.
Kawhi, does Kawhi have a max deal through them?
Better.
I don't think so.
He doesn't. That max deal should have went to Kawhi.
I think he has a league specifically that will pay you based off of your name. You will make money if you are as good as Grant at basketball, but have had success in the past. You'll make money. And that's where Paul George is cashing in on right now.
All right.
I'm speaking.
What the fuck was that, TJ?
Well, we both know you suck at basketball.
Yeah.
You're tall.
Yeah.
You can just touch the rim. But for you, man, if you're on my basketball team, I'm telling you, stay under the rim. Do not come back.
Swat it. Hey, I was actually pretty decent. I was pretty decent at defense. I fouled out a little.
In your head,
Grant, you would kick ass in the Big 3 league.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's still a thing.
I see what would happen in the Big 3 league is somebody would bring me in, and I'm not going to play, right? My job is only to hack the fuck out of Grant.
Hack a
He's
Grant.
going to regret ever touching the ball. He's not going to want it.
All right, we're gonna flip gears here to a sport we haven't talked about in a few weeks, actually since their season ended. But the NHL is trying to get things finalized here for a season to start on, let's see here, January 13th. That would include all teams playing in their home arenas, no fans, obviously, to start. But they're also trying to work out a deal that might send them to a start in February with a bubble or hub cities. The way a hub city would work is they'd bring 10 teams in for about 2 weeks at a time, have them play games, send them home for a week, and then they would move on to a different hub city. So we will most likely be getting an NHL season this year.
Just what it's going to look like.
When and what it's going to look like, right? As for right now, their free agency stuff is over. The current favorites right now are the defending champs, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Colorado is also a favorite, as well as Vegas and Dallas. But one team that could be a surprise this year is the Montreal Canadiens. They made a lot of moves in the offseason. They signed Jake Allen, Josh Anderson, Joel Edmondson, and Tyler Toffoli. So they definitely got an upgrade, and this is a team that's been looking for success that they haven't had in quite some time. So they could surprise some people this upcoming season. As for my Blackhawks, yeah, they're taking the trend of all the other Chicago teams and just being a shit show.
When can Wisconsin get an NHL team so I can jump ship from being a Chicago fan?
It still makes me mad that Tampa Bay has a hockey team and Wisconsin has the Admirals.
Dude.
Get us a hockey team, man.
Right.
It should happen at some point, because I know a lot of people in Wisconsin hate having to choose between rooting from a team from Minnesota, Detroit, or Chicago.
Or just go Nashville because
of Boston.
Milwaukee Admirals.
You could go Nashville. Didn't the Admirals used to be an affiliate for the Mavericks? Or the Stars? Sorry, the Stars.
Stars, maybe. I don't know.
I used to go to Admirals games as I was a kid. Never paid attention to who they were an affiliate for.
Yeah.
It just bugs me that Chicago's AHL team, the Chicago Wolves, is an affiliate of the Blackhawks.
Guys, we need to go to an Admirals game when we can.
Yeah.
After that,
all right, I'll see you in 3 years.
Yeah.
Right.
The vaccine will be out next year-ish.
All right. Grant, you also had some F1 news.
Yeah.
Talk about.
This past race, the Satir Grand Prix, was absolutely insane.
I watched it.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, it was huge congratulations to Sergio Perez, the first Mexican driver to win a race since 1970.
He won. That dude was in like 18th place at one point.
Dude, After the first corner of the race, he was in last place. And then you were asking Mercedes, yes, they have an extremely dominant car.
Yeah.
They fucked up their strategy so bad. They got bad punctured that completely took out Russell, who took over for Lewis Hamilton. It was just an insane race. I know it's going to be on YouTube at some point. Definitely check it out. It's an extremely unique layout of the track that they've never raced at. By far the quickest lap time in F1 history too. So just a lot of really cool stuff that happened. But just once again, congratulations to Sergio Perez. He is out of a drive next year. His only chance is potentially going to Red Bull, which it sounds like Alex Albon's keeping it there, which is bullshit because it should go to Perez, but we'll see.
Yeah, watching that
And
race,
this is the last race of the year.
Okay. Watching that race, I had to ask Grant, like, how good is this Mercedes team? Are they like the Chiefs of the F1 world? Because at the point I was watching it, Russell and Bottas were 1 and 2, and they were 21 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. That the third place guy was 21 seconds behind them, and I'm like, in F1 when these cars are going 200 miles an hour, that's a lot of fucking distance.
Yeah,
To hear that they didn't win was shocking. So
yeah, well, and actually the team that did win and placed a 1-3, which they've never done, and big ups to Ocon and the Renault as well, getting second place. But it just shows how crazy of a race that was. And thank you. That's the one good thing that has come out of 2020 is the F1 races there have been some absolute incredible ones. And
I mean,
yeah.
it's probably no different to them because there's no fans there, right? Per usual.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking per usual.
Let's talk about the sport where fans mean the least for a minute.
Yeah, so one of the commentators was saying how the drivers miss it and stuff like that. One of my favorite drivers, Kimi Räikkönen, came on. He was like, "No, it's amazing. I get to go from the hotel to the track. Nobody bothers me. I do my own thing." I'm like, "Yeah, like it doesn't matter. It's not." I know Sebastian Vettel has mentioned in a race in Germany that he could hear the fans and it was really cool. And that's just how rare it is that it actually mattered for the fans. Like,
you know what blows my mind about racing as a sport though is you've seen pictures of like tracks, like, I mean, this goes for NASCAR tracks too. But like you see the picture of the track and you see the seating or whatever, and you're like, oh, it's probably like 20,000 people there.
no,
That's like 100,000 people. That's how
yeah.
fucking huge these things are. I'm like, they hold more than most football stadiums do, and that just blew my mind when I found that out. It's insane.
Yeah,
But
the
you mentioned.
biggest.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
going to say the biggest sports venue is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It
Mhm.
holds over 250,000 people. And
Which
yet it's
Grant has
still
never been to. It's this big F1 fan. I've been there, you know, since
okay.
I'm such a
Indy
huge
is
F1
for
fan.
IndyCar,
Did I just break
not
that?
F1, but it'd be amazing if they came back to Indy.
So with UFC, this is going to be posted after the event tonight, but tonight is a major event. You have the flyweight title being defended with Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno. So that's going to be the main card, main event. And then you also have Tony Ferguson coming back after the last time he fought was against Justin Gaethje. And the last few things you might have seen with that was Ferguson running around the arena trying to get away from him. It was the first time anybody ever saw Ferguson run in a fight, and he was trying his best to get away from Gaethje and get out of that fight. And he's facing Charles Oliveira tonight. In addition, you have Mackenzie Dern and Verna Jandiroba. They are fighting tonight as well for the women's divisions. You have Kevin Holland versus Jacare Souza tonight. And then a name that most people are familiar with as he's super old, outstanding boxing legend from the heavyweight division, Junior Dos Santos faces Cyril Gane. So that's the main card of tonight's version, which you guys will be last night when this is posted. But next week has a pretty outstanding just regular fight night where you're having Stephen Thompson, the Karate Kid, coming back against Jeff Neal as the main event there. And then Jose Aldo is also going to be fighting on the fight night card against Marlon Vera. Who? What?
I said, ooh.
And then you have Michael Pereira Lima versus Chaos Williams and Marlon Moraes versus Rob Font, ending with Marcin Tybura and Greg Hardy for his next fight. So that's going to be next week on the 19th. Following that, you're going to see Max Holloway back in action after his last fight was a loss against Volchansky. And they officially have a date for the Poirier and McGregor fight, which will be January 23rd at 9 p.m. And that will be the headline of that event, I'm assuming, because it's the only one posted. But outside of that, that's kind of all the UFC news that I do have right now.
Oh. Is there any word on when Zhang Weili is going to be fighting again?
Not that I know of.
Because, damn, I know we never really touched on it because I don't know if we were filming episodes when she beat the shit out of, was it Joanna? Joanna Jędrzejczyk? Yeah. Holy fuck, like that chick is bad. Like, bad in a good way. So I'm excited
she's solid.
when she gets another defense. Because,
you want to point out that Joanna was one of the best strawweight champions like people have ever seen in any division. So that was a huge win. She is a monster.
But as I was trying to say before I was cut off.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
What's with the interruptions here there, Taser?
I like to talk.
Okay, anyways, if anybody missed the fight between Zhang Weili and Joanna Jędrzejczyk, the Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns made the softball team and brought in all the MLB players and Ken Griffey got like his head blown up from drugs or whatever, that's what Joanna looked like after the fight. She had such a hematoma in her entire fucking head. It was insane from just getting, how the fuck she didn't get knocked out, I don't know. She lasted all 5 rounds, but that's just the power of Zhang Weili's punches. So I cannot wait to see her fight again when she does get another.
So I do see here that it is suspected she will fight in early 2021 and fight Thug Namajunas. So that is going to be a good fight.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Oh, I'm excited.
I think Weili's going to stomp her though, but it's going to be a good fight. But
speaking of Chinese athletes, and this is going to tie into our trivia, just want to give a congratulations to Arizona State running back Jackson He, the first Chinese-born player to score an NCAA touchdown. Look it up. He just did it. Arizona State was routing Arizona 63-7 at the time, and they threw him in and let him score a 1-yard touchdown. This is a kid who was only been in the United States since he was 17. So the back of his jersey is actually in Mandarin, I think, or it's in Chinese characters. So congratulations to him. But speaking of college, we're going to jump into our weekly trivia, everybody's favorite game show. Where'd he come from? This week, we're sticking with quarterbacks, and we are in the AFC West. So with current players, we'll start off with the Chargers and Tyrod Taylor.
Clemson?
ACC.
Clemson?
I will join you and say Clemson because I don't know.
TJ?
I'll go Clemson too.
Clemson?
I wanted to say Rutgers, but I just can't picture his jersey.
Let me just double check on this. It is not Clemson. You are all wrong. It is Virginia Tech.
Damn it.
Shit, yeah.
I was picturing orange.
That's right.
Yeah. Which Virginia Tech does have a small amount of orange in their unis. So, all right, moving on to the Broncos. Drew Lock.
I told you my brain is fried.
He went to college?
Missouri?
He did.
What conference?
Big 12.
I know it's not in the Big 12 anymore, but I still want to say Missouri.
OSU?
Correct.
Oklahoma State University?
Correction. Sorry, it is SEC.
Oh, well.
Missouri.
I'll go Missouri because Grant seems super strong with this, and I can't picture any other team, but I do see like the Missouri uniform now that he's saying that. I don't know if it's because he actually played for them or just because Grant got into my mind.
Tyler, who did you say?
I'm changing it now. Fuck it. Let's say Georgia. I don't know. It's not Georgia, but
It is Missouri. Yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
one up. Yep, it's Missouri. So, all right, moving
formerly
on.
of the Big 12.
Did not realize this guy was the backup for the Chiefs, but Chad Henne.
Oh, I know that one. I'll wait till you guys go first.
Yeah.
Tyler?
I don't know.
Michigan, right?
Michigan.
Yeah.
It's Michigan, yes.
Sounds about right.
And
I told you I'm great at this game.
for the Las Vegas Raiders, surprised this guy is still in the
Fresno
league.
State.
Still has a job.
Oh, not that guy then.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to jump in with.
Nathan Peterman, the third stringer. Marcus Mariota's the second string, and that would have been too easy too.
What conference?
Big East,
Big East?
I believe. Let me double check.
What's the team? I'll let you know.
You're fucking stupid. Sorry, ACC.
ACC?
God, all this
Oh.
conference realignment bullshit just fucks me up when on different conferences. It's ACC.
I know who it is.
Okay, anybody else?
Boston College.
Pittsburgh.
Tyler?
Florida State.
Is Pittsburgh TJ?
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
So why don't we do this from now on?
Thought like dark blue jersey. And at first I was like Penn State, and then you were like Big East, and I was like, who the fuck's in the Big East with a dark blue jersey?
We're gonna do this from now on. When you have your guess, save it, and then when you all have yours, we'll say them rather than just shouting it out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll move on to the legends here.
Well,
Ones?
never mind.
All right. So we'll start with the Chargers again. Dan Fouts. Might remember him from The Water Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Water Boy. That's where Dan Fouts has got famous. The Water Boy.
Last game of the year, Brent can't hold anything back.
Conference?
Pac-12.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
I know it. I think I know it.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know it, but I have my guess.
Well, I think I know it.
All right. What are your guesses?
Oregon?
I was saying USC.
I was gonna say UCLA.
Grant. It is Oregon.
I was thinking USC for Tyler, but then when you said, I knew it was. I thought it was like either USC or UCLA. So when you said USC, I was like UCLA then.
So when I said I know it, I meant, hey, I know a college in the Pac-12, guys. Look at me. I know
Utah.
a college.
Boise State.
I do. If we do end up having a tie, I'm gonna have a tiebreaker question, and it's gonna involve the Chargers. So, moving on to the
Ooh.
Broncos. This one
Antonio
should be
Gates.
fairly easy for you guys. John Elway. This really isn't.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it.
No idea.
Conference.
Conference Pac-12 again.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Duh. Yeah, I got it.
I think I know it.
Okay.
Start with me because I think I know it.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Stanford?
Stanford.
It is
Okay.
Stanford. Tyler,
thought
on
I
the
knew.
board.
Yeah.
We should do like we should each get like a dry erase board.
Or
And
just a
just,
sheet
like,
of paper. Or
Write
something.
it down. I do have a. Oh, mine's got.
Save that for next week. That might
Yeah.
work out better. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And
moving
next
on.
week we
Well, if
should
I
do
have
this after football and like, hey, we've been doing this thing, but now we're doing it. Like, we want people to know. Like,
Deal. All right. Moving on to the Chiefs.
you know what I mean? Like, we'll do it right after football and whatever.
Moving on to the Chiefs. Trent Green.
Conference.
Big Ten. Looking up Trent Green, I did not realize how long he fucking played for.
Yeah, he he started.
94, look, if I remember right. He was a
He's a
rookie.
starter. Then he was the backup to Kurt Warner. Then he went to the Chiefs and started. Then was a backup there.
Mhm.
Yeah, he played for a minute, and he was good.
Yep, he made a couple Pro Bowls with the Chiefs.
Big Ten, huh?
What division of the Big Ten?
I honestly don't know. And
Look it up.
There weren't divisions at this point in time.
Look
when
at
he
him
was
now.
there, so no.
Okay, I gotta guess.
Sure.
Right, Tyler,
Penn State.
DJ,
Minnesota.
Grant,
Ohio State.
you are all wrong. It's Indiana.
Oh,
Shit! My first thought was like Indiana. No, nobody good has ever come out of Indiana. This isn't
Right?
basketball.
That's the second quarterback that I brought up that's gone to Indiana. So it's kind of crazy. I didn't realize they had guys that were making to the NFL that
who
weren't
was the first one?
Keep in mind,
Nate
we're talking about
Sudfeld.
legends that were like
Oh.
early '90s. It was different back then.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's true. All right. Rounding it off here, Las Vegas or Oakland, Los Angeles, whatever. Raiders legend Kenny Snake
Oh.
Stabler,
Conference.
SEC.
Oh, yeah, I got it. I think I'm probably wrong, but I think I have it.
Sure.
Other two?
I'm
Okay.
picking a school in SEC if I get this right. Yay.
Mervin, are you
I think I'm actually
frozen?
wrong.
Yeah, I
Now
got
that
it.
I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure I'm wrong.
I'm
All right.
thinking
Tyler, what do you got?
Florida.
Okay.
Ole
TJ,
Miss.
Alabama.
Oh,
Grant, you said Ole Miss.
yeah.
TJ, you are right. It is Alabama.
It was either
That was a
Alabama or
lucky
Florida. I
guess.
couldn't remember.
I was actually
got picked-
thinking, like, when I said Alabama, I was like, fuck, that's Bart Starr.
Nope, it was also Kenny Stabler. So TJ squeaked out a 1-point victory this time around. Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. it was-
I'll throw out my tiebreaker question, see if anybody knows it. Dan Fouts, for all the glory that he had with the Chargers, never played in a Super Bowl there. Although the Chargers did reach one. Who was the quarterback for that Chargers team?
I don't know, so I'm Googling it.
The year was 1995. And I believe they got their asses whooped by San Francisco.
So I have an idea of who it is, but I'm so off on it that I'm actually Googling it because I already won, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. I believe the Chargers that year were led more by their defense and Junior Seau.
Yeah.
They didn't really have.
Oh, yeah, I was way the fuck off.
Who did you think?
Who did you think?
It was wrong. I thought it was Trent Green for some reason. And I was like, wait, he didn't even
for
play
the Chargers.
It was Stan Humphries,
Stan
man.
Humphries, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I believe that was the Super Bowl that they got beat like 55-10.
Yeah, if you think about that Chargers team, they had Leslie O'Neal, who was a Pro Bowler, Chris Mims, Sean Lee, Junior Seau,
Mhm.
Stanley Richard, Darian Gordon, and Rodney Harrison was a rookie.
Yeah. And they got obliterated by Steve Young and the Niners.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was crazy. All right. TJ, do you want to stay with quarterbacks or pick the conference?
What conference?
What conference? Yeah.
We have done AFC West, NFC East, AFC South, NFC
Fuck it.
West.
Let's just get quarterbacks done with. Quarterbacks.
All right, fine. I'll pick the conference then. Oh, whatever. All right. Do we have anything else to add to this episode, or are we ready to wrap it up and go enjoy our snow day?
Yeah.
Seeing as I think it stopped snowing, so.
I don't know. I haven't opened my windows in 3 months. Or my blinds in 3 months, so.
All right.
Yeah, it
Well,
looks like it stopped snowing now. It's just pretty out.
All right. Well, I think we are going to wrap it up this week. Tyler, happy early birthday.
Yeah,
Thanks,
happy
sir.
birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys see him? Punch him in the face.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Yes, I would love that for my birthday. Just randomly punch me in the face. Hopefully, it's at like the Walmart or something. Like,
Let's be real though, Tyler. If I punched you in the face, I'd at least give you like a hit afterwards.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Here you go, buddy.
All right. But we will catch you next week. Stay safe out there. Have a great weekend and another week. I'm Aaron.
I'm TJ.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Grant.
Good job this time, Grant. We'll see you later.
Fuck off. My internet worked.